Okay, well, good evening. My name is Jen Jones, and I'm so happy to be with you guys tonight. It's Thursday night, team training, and it's gonna be a good one. We are going to talk about how to maximize the fun in coaching. Coaching should be fun. If you're not having fun, well, listen in because we want you to be having a lot of fun. And we're going to talk about how to maximize the fun, how to maximize your impact. I know that every single person on here decided to become a coach because they wanted to pay it forward. They wanted to make a difference. They wanted to help somebody. So there's that. And then also to grow your business. I mean, there is no shame in the fact that we offer a healthy body, which we talked a lot about in the last call, healthy mind, also what we talk a lot about, and then healthy finance. That is a third of what we do here with Optavia is we provide healthy finance. So we're going to talk about how to maximize that in the coming months. So first, though, before we do anything else, and I'm going to apologize if I miss you. If I miss you, I don't want you to feel rejected or bad. I just want you to put your name or I want you to put a 1 in the chat bar. Or no, don't put a 1 because 1 was for weather or something. Put a 3 in the chat bar if I miss you, because I want to congratulate all of the people who grew an executive director business in the month of April. So I'm going to kind of rattle off some names because there was quite a few of you. Now, those of you who are new coaches are like, what the heck is an executive director? And really what an executive director is it's a real key leadership level in Optavia. It also means that you are serving probably 20 people or more. Now, hopefully you're not doing that on your own because we do truly believe we're better together. I'm going to talk about that tonight because if you're serving 20 people on your own, then your business is a little bit out of balance. So we'll talk about that. But you are either you're likely serving maybe 15 to 20 on your own with partners, maybe a couple of coaches that are also serving 5 or so on their own. And so together you are an executive director. There's lots of ways to do that, but it's actually very, very, it's also when you receive the maximum compensation that Optavia pays out. So an executive director is making about $2,000 a month. And most people are growing a business to executive director in 60 to 90 days. That's what's possible. Some do it even quicker, but I like to just say, it's very likely it's going to happen in 60 to 90 days, which leads me to my first celebration because I think it's awesome. We talked about that on her meet and greet coach call, and boy, she did it in under 60 days. I think she did it in like 49. So congratulations to Crystal Pridmore, who is a brand new executive director, Jackie Williams, Ginger Compton, Michelle Smith. And if you guys just want to give some shout outs in here, even if you don't know these people, I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah, Dawn, awesome. Way to go, Evie. See, exactly. So Michelle Smith, Amy Moravi, Marcy Scheffler, Lisa Carpenter, Jamie Raffinengo. I like that last name. I wish I said it better. Jamie Raffinengo. Amanda Bannister, Becky, can you type in your last, Becky Moore? Is it you, Becky Moore? Yes, okay. Dave and Tasha Rodriguez, and Kelly Tingle. Okay, who did I miss? Because I really did have a challenge running the report. So did I miss anybody? I'm learning new things all the time. I hope I caught everybody because growing. Oh, Danielle Bennett, my own coach, duh. Of course, Danielle, you're right here at the top of my list. I was just trying to not congratulate my very own first. So yeah, so together as a team, I mean, honestly, that represents hundreds of people getting healthy just right there, literally hundreds, like, actually probably more in the thousands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know. I'm not that good at math, but times that by 20 plus. Amazing, amazing, amazing. Lisa, I said Lisa Carpenter. Yes, Lisa Carpenter. I'm so proud. Oh, that's Lisa Love. I thought it was Lisa 3. Okay. And now what I want to do next is this is growing healthy problems. There were too many people to rattle off that grew their business to senior coach, like way too many, which is awesome because every single person who becomes a coach, our desire as we begin to coach, like I said, is help people. And one of the best things you can do is help your first 5 people, because that's really getting your feet wet in coaching. It's really building a solid foundation to move forward with. We're so relationship that is moving forward as far as referrals and building your own community. A lot of you guys are paying it forward to your local friends and family to build your own community, to reinforce your own decision. Not to mention, when you help your first 5, you earn $450, which is pretty good, healthy finance. It puts you immediately in the black, pays off the investment you made in your kit and probably your food. So I want you to brag on yourself, because we are all about lifting each other's up. This is the kind of environment where we want you, kudos to you. We want you to just, will you type a 5? Because your senior coach helped your first 5. Will you just put that in the chat bar? And we're just going to watch this thing blow up for a second. If you helped your first 5 in the month of April, check. Yep, you sure did, Angie. Yes, you did. Nicole, yes. Oh, yep. So great. Who else? Because honestly, there were so many that I couldn't even rattle them all off. Maybe they're not on the call. So go ahead and put a 5 in the chat bar as we continue if you helped your first 5. Yep. Congratulations. It is awesome. Senior coach is we consider senior coach kind of like the very first level of leadership here in Optavia. So congratulations to everyone. All right, I'm gonna jump right into training tonight. And really talk about, I'm going to share my, before I share my screen, we're going to talk all about sponsoring. And the reason we're going to talk all about sponsoring is because at this point in our world, on our social media feeds, in our culture, and honestly, as an Optavia coach, it is unlikely that you will move forward. I'm not talking business. I'm talking your own, like your health, your personal development, of course, in your business and in your finances and all of that other part of healthiness, if you do not begin to sponsor. And if you do not begin to offer full trilogy, what we have, it is, I've come to a place 4.5 years in as a coach where I have finally, something clicked in me where I have recognized it as actually being quite selfish to not offer coaching. And I know that might sound harsh, but I know what I have received from coaching. Tell me if coaching has benefited you in any way, whether it's been rewarding and like helping one person on that first week celebration call or the 5th week celebration call saying, oh my gosh, you are changing my life. If it has been beneficial at all, yes, I know. And I have come to a place where I'm like, it's actually quite selfish of me to not serve my clients by offering coaching. It is a gift to them. And honestly, on the business side, the healthy finance side, I had a coach who actually grew to manager, which means she was helping about 8 people. And I had noticed that her commission statement didn't seem right. And so I called the company and to get that all squared away. But I called her and I said, hey, did you check your commission statement? And she said, yes. Oh my gosh, I can't even believe it. And I go, I know, I'm sorry. We're going to get this squared away. You weren't compensated what you should be. She goes, what? She was so blown away by the few $100s that dropped in that she couldn't even believe that there would possibly be more. And that is, for me, it was honestly so rewarding. I was like, oh, I'm so glad I offered coaching to her. It's so helping them margin in their financial life. And honestly, I realized what $500 does for somebody. $500 does a lot for somebody. And honestly, coaching, we talked about it on the call right before this, it'll change your perspective because of the community. You'll get healthy inside out. But here's the thing, we're clients and we lose 30 pounds in 3 months and we're like shouting it through the rooftops and we're so excited because people are noticing and we feel so good and we are so proud. And So we decided to become a coach. And then we become a coach, and we're like loving it. We are telling our people, you know, oh my goodness, yes, like hop on a call with me. You probably even help a few clients get started. You love what you get to celebrate with them. You even have maybe even have a couple of $100 drop in your account for serving a few people and helping them toward their health goals. And then your coach says to you, awesome. So who can we bring on a celebration call so that we can offer coaching? Have you been dripping coaching? Have you offered them to explore coaching? And all of a sudden, it's like your lips are sealed and you make a decision that no one can be a coach, that it's not something that you should offer. You forget all the benefits that it's been to you, and you get paralyzed in fear. Paralyzed. And you decide for everyone in your life that they wouldn't want to do this, that they're too busy, that they don't need any extra income, that they, those that aren't even coaches yet, but you like kind of think they would, but they don't have any weight to lose. And you begin to decide without even exploring, without even, it's suddenly no longer a gift. You're paralyzed in fear, and you actually think that you have this concept like, I don't want them to think that I'm trying to get something from them. And you're afraid. And you then allow the fear to dictate your conversations with them and dominate what you are, even like the fear controls your conversation and what you are willing to say and not say. And I just want to tell you, and we've talked about this in other areas of our life, I want you to do it afraid. And if you know me, you know that I am bold. And I'm bold about a whole lot of things. And I'm outspoken about a lot of things. I didn't start a coach for 8 months. And that was a big mistake. And I look back to some of my early clients, who one in particular is not doing well, gained 100 pounds back, and I'm still in communication with her. And I feel so bad that I never offered coaching to her. Because I think coaching would have been the game changer for her in her own health. She's like struggling financially in her late 30s, trying to like figure it out, taking on side jobs. And I think about where my life is. She was one of my first 5 clients. And I think about where my life is 4.5 years later, opposed to where her life is. And I'm not saying that this is the solve all, cure all, but I can tell you part of how I've grown as a human being, part of just that personal development, the healthy mind that I have, definitely the financial freedom I have, the friendships that I have, the community that I'm, like what's made me better definitely has a huge, I have to attribute a lot of it to coaching. And my own fear of, and I told my coaches for 8 months, I don't want to build a team. I just want to help some people. Get healthy, and I don't want to build a team. And I didn't for 8 months. Until 8 months in, I love client support. I love helping people. It's not that much fun just continuing to wash, rinse, and repeat of that. And 8 months in, I'd been making the same commission check for probably about 5 months. Same. It was good, but it wasn't, it just the same. And I also kind of knew that maybe I was born for more. Maybe I had some leadership gifting and some things I was not tapping into and not using in just my daily client support. And then, lucky me, I had one of my clients ask me about coaching. And so at 8 months, that's when I started my first coach, but not because I had the guts and I felt horrible. I actually hadn't started her well as a client. Because I had all these things, these concepts. So she knew nothing about coaching. I'd never dripped it. I'd never explored it. I'd never anything. Thank God though, because then once we did do it together, I recognized, oh my gosh, this is so much more fun doing it together. Oh my goodness, this is way more life-giving. And I want to tell you right now, if you have, and for some of you that are new, this is going to maybe go over your head, but if you have $3,600 in frontline volume and do not have a coach, your business is out of balance. Because for every 5 clients, there's a coach. So for those of you, the too many to name that we just went senior coach, senior coach, have 5 clients, there's a coach in there. There's a coach in there. And that person needs to explore and offer and start coaching this month. Because they don't have to be at their goal weight. They don't have to, we're going to talk about that. I'm getting ahead of myself. And so after that, I was still scared to explore coaching. I remember with every single call, I would be like, so anyway, did you know that you could become a coach? I learned some phrases, and we're going to talk about things that you can say. And I would just almost say it. And I would say it so scared, but I would spit it out, these 1 sentences. And I want to tell you that my dreams began to expand, and my desires for others and my desires even for my own family began to grow. And so then what happened in me is that what was on the other side of my fear was way more important to me than allowing my fear to limit me. And I began to build my team. And so we're going to talk a little bit about how to really offer coaching and some practical things to say and what's working from some people that really grew a big business this month. Well, it didn't happen overnight, who have been growing a big business and happened to make some major pen marks this month. But we're going to talk about who makes great coaches, because I want to tell you right now, those of you who just went executive director, and there's a lot of executive directors, but those of you who just went executive director, the hardest leap is from executive director to FIBC, because an FIBC is someone who starts coaches. An FIBC is someone who has overcome their fear, who has achieved some skills that we're going to talk about tonight, and begins to recognize the gift that they have in their hand and boldly share it, just doing it afraid. And but it does take a mindset shift. It 100% has to be a mind shift. It's all up in here, baby. You know how much of it was up in here when you were on program? Same as coaching. It's a mindset shift. Yes, you can do it. There is nothing that somebody else in one of these squares has that you do not. There is nothing, there is no set of circumstances, there is no history, there's no social media influence. Blah. One of the executive directors that just went executive director this month, she did it in 70 days. She didn't even have a Facebook account in January. So I don't want to, she didn't even have a Facebook account. It's the first thing that we did when she became a coach. Start a Facebook account. So there's no excuse here. It's mindset. It's all mindset. And so, that being said, if you desire to move forward and have a lot more fun and make a greater impact in people's lives and maximize the compensation and have a little more financial freedom, we have to master the act of building your team. And the first thing I just want to ask you right now, because we're going to give you a lot of actual verbiage and things to say, but I want to know, before we give you a bunch of stuff to say, who are you going to say it to? So do you have a list? That's what the map is for. And I've been reviewing a lot of maps, and I will tell you the biggest gap on not every single, a lot of the maps was the 10 spaces of the potential coaches. And so Heidi, I love that you're on here. And I actually love that you asked that question. The map is a monthly action plan. And we, just as clients, we operate in structural tension, which is found in 4 through 7 in your companion guide in the Habits of Health. We talk about structural tension in health. We talk about structural tension in business. It's who do we want to help? How many people do we want to help? And the map is a monthly action plan so that you have a target to aim at, and then you know what you need to do it, and then you work it consistently. And so the biggest thing missing for most maps that I reviewed so far is the list of coaches. Do you have a list? Do you know what you're looking for on that list? I know one of the things that I look for is the habits of transformation. We talked about that all through. You can go back to the recordings, but we did all 6 habits of transformation. I'm looking for people who aren't there yet, but are open and teachable and desire to grow and become more. Because I'm finding that pretty much everyone in life just longs for something more. And I have something that will help them become and receive that something more with coaching. And I think the biggest hurdle of growing a business from, or even starting your first 5, the biggest hurdle from starting your first 5 and then growing from executive director to FIBC is the fear of what people think. Because if you'll ask yourself, honestly, why won't I put myself out there? Why won't I start that conversation? Why am I not being consistent? Why won't I offer coaching? Why won't I just say, hey, you'd be a great coach. Would you like to hop on a call and explore? Because you're terribly afraid of what they think. What if they think that I'm trying to sell them something? What if they think I'm trying to get something out of them? What if they think, name it, fill in the blank. That's why it's so hard, because you have to get out of your own way. And you have to do this key thing, which I'm going to start sharing my screen now. Let's see, hold on. Hold tight, my friends. I'm a terrible screen sharer, as you guys know full well. Okay. All right, share screen. Okay. How do I, oh, here we go. You have to take your eyes off of yourself to have the true sponsoring mindset. It has to cease to be about you, because it's actually about others. Sponsoring and helping a coach get started is not about you. It's about them and what they need. And so when I'm hearing a lot of, well, I told them they would make a great coach, but they said no. They said, okay, well, what do they need? Do they need some people to join them in the journey? Are they oscillating in their own health journey? Well, yeah, they totally are. Well, did you talk to them about how coaching can help them to stop oscillating in their journey because they can build a little community around themselves? Oh, well, no, I just told them they'd be a great coach. Oh. Did you identify, have you asked them how they're doing? Why are they so stressed out? Oh, because they work all the time. Well, why do they work all the time? Well, they got to pay the bills. Oh, so could they benefit from $500 a month in their finances? I don't know. I didn't ask them. Because you're making it about you. And I want to tell you, the mindset shift has to be this: offering coaching is not for you. If you're on here right now, thank goodness your coach got over themselves enough to invite you in so that you could reap the benefits of coaching. There's massive benefits. So really taking your eyes off of yourself is super, super key. Here we go. Next slide here. Because here's the truth. People have more to gain by you sponsoring them than you do for sponsoring them. They will receive way more from this than you ever will. I have a lot of fun. It's super rewarding. I love making new, rich, deeper friendships. I do get that out of sponsoring, to be honest. But what they get out of sponsoring is so much more than I get. Because the only way, here's the thing, if you want to talk the financial piece of it, the only way you earn income as a business coach, so the only way I earn as a business leader is if you'll help the coaches you work with become successful. I don't earn income for starting a coach and not helping them out. If I don't help my coaches succeed and win and grow and serve people, the company doesn't compensate me anything. It's just like when we're not compensated for selling a box of food, right? I mean, we might get like one compensation, 1 month, a few dollars. It's like, you help one person, it's like probably like, I don't even know, like $20. And so, yeah, 50. Thank you. I can see you, Dobby. I love it. No, I thank you, because I don't know. I know once you're an executive director, it's about 100 a person, but so $50. But for guiding them to their health goals, that's what you're really compensated for. And that's where, that is where you really begin to see financial freedom, is when you actually guide them from just a box of food and you guide them to your goals. That's when the company goes, oh, okay, and continues to compensate you for guiding to their goals. Same thing with coaches. Nothing happens for me to start a coach. Does nothing unless I serve them and help them grow. And my goal for everybody is to grow to executive director so that you receive full compensation. full compensation of what the company, which is 31%. And so there's way more. The earnings, everything will always be way more in favor of the coach, not the business leader or the one that sponsored the coach. So get that out of your head, that you're somehow going to get something. And, think about the things that we offer a person. We offer personal development, massive. We offer community. I mean, come on, it is like second to none. And yes, we do offer finances. So shift your mind of like what you're getting, because you're not really getting that. You're giving that. That's what you're giving. But you actually have to say something. You actually have to open your mouth and offer it. And so I did want to show this because I wanted you guys to know. So the average ED, like I said, earns this. Well, I said $2,000 a month, so I was shooting low. But clearly my math is not the greatest. And that's what it generates. So this is what they're earning a month as an ED, $2,800 a month. Guess what I earn as of them being off of all of their group volume? $500 off of an ED. They earned $2,800. So who's serving whom? It's not what you think. Who's serving whom? Think about that. Because I think that's a big mindset shift that people need to understand. Okay, and so now we're going to begin to talk because you actually do have to say something. You actually do have to open your mouth and put out some words and say, would you love to explore coaching? I think you'd be a great coach. I'm looking for partners. I want to help more people together. And so you have to ask and you have to offer and you have to start the conversation. How you posture is everything. Posture is everything. Because I can say something like, I think you'd make a fantastic coach. Do you want to explore it with me? Or I can say, I think you'd make a fantastic coach. You probably don't want to, but maybe if we could explore it. Okay. I think I'd say yes to the first person. The second one, I'd be like, I don't know. Do I? I don't know. Posture is everything. So you have to start with you, though. Just like our health starts with us and we live that out loud. Same with this whole sponsoring of coaches. How big do you see it? Do you see that you could grow and earn $2,800 a month as an average ED? Do you see that? And because if you don't, and it's just like a hobby, then that's what they're going to see. If they don't see someone that is going after this and like serving people and is branded as a health coach and is excited about it and is wanting to grow and build and dream, then, and it's just like some side thing that they just think that you're doing, after hours for fun, then that's how they're going to see it. And it's not probably going to be super compelling to them to join you. But if they see you as a professional, they will see it as a profession. This is why your client support is vital. When people are letting me know, sometimes when people say, hey, I can't help anybody, nobody wants to coach. My first question is like, well, what's your client support look like? And so that is the first, what does your client support look like? Because we do 4 things in this business. We acquire, and I don't love that word, but it's kind of like acquire and assist clients and acquire and assist coaches. That's all we do. Wash, rinse, repeat. Acquire and assist clients, acquire and assist coaches. How are you doing at assisting your clients? Because typically the next step, if you're doing good there, is then they become a coach. So examine your client support. Are you being consistent? Are you serving them well? Are you adding value to their life? Are you helping them not navigate challenges? Are you plugging them into all 4 components? These are all the things that then they will see you as a professional and you will be someone they'll want to partner with. Okay, I want to talk about this because of our own fear and our own concepts, we have very negative expectations. Like nobody, it is not uncommon for me to hear. So I can look at a business. There's a few businesses that, you can look at and they're like running, let's say 6,000 in volume. 6,000 in volume means you're helping like 19 people, not a single coach. So there's like 4 coaches in there. I know there's 4 coaches in there. That's the stats. The stats are the stats. It just is what it is. It's proven. Ask Ann Bell. And like nobody wants to coach. Who have you asked to explore? Well, they're so busy and like they have a really good job And I just can't see them. Like, oh, but did you talk to him about it? Did you, well, I mean, I like said something like, oh, you might be a good coach. Like, okay. Did you expect that they would want to be? And the answer often is no. There's not that positive expectation. So I want you guys to expect people to want to speak with you. You have something to offer. You have value. You are worth it. You are enough, whether you've been a coach for a minute or you've been a coach for thousands of minutes. People need you. You have a solution to their problem. People would want to speak with you. Expect people to be interested. Just expect it. I was interested. And I said no for 3 years, but at the end of the day, there was a part of me that was like, I am really curious about what the heck this is. Expect people to join you. I pretty much every time that I start a new client, at this point, I'm like, oh, I just wonder when they'll become a coach. I mean, I project it that they will be. I just don't know exactly when that will happen in the journey. And I talk about it in the night before. I talk about it on the pre-client call, on the health assessment. I pretty much expect they're going to join me. And then see them as a coach on your team before they actually are. On my night before call, this is what I say on every night before call. They're getting started. Every night before call. And I think that I might be taking away what some of the other people are talking about, but every night before call, I say this. I say, awesome, I get their mind wrapped around what's going to happen in the next 4 days and in the whole first week and what they can expect there. And I say, you are going to be down like 5 pounds. Typical results, 2 to 5 pounds in the first week. You're going to be down like 5 pounds. You're going to feel amazing. Your family, your coworkers are going to be like, what the heck are you doing? And we'll talk about how we can help them, because you could totally coach them, and we'll talk about how we can help them together. But for right now, let's just get you into a good fat burn. I'm basically treating them and talking to them as a coach before they even are. Posturing it that way. And so I'm going to go ahead, and I believe I'm going to stop sharing. And I want Whitney, because Whitney really took on this sponsoring mindset. And as a result, she did grow her business to fully at FIBC this month, meaning she helped 5 people help 5 people. And it was all mindset shift. In fact, she helped 4 people get started in coaching and paying it forward in a 2-day span, 48 hours. She started 4 new coaches. And so Whit, I'm going to let you pop off mute, and I want you just to kind of share a little bit with us what you're doing and how you're doing it, because it's working.
Hey guys, good evening. So let's jump right in. Something that I always love about trainings is when people pull up actual messages or actual conversations that they've had with people, just because I know, and I've seen some chatter on the coach support page saying how do you word this? And I know we can get so caught up in how we say things, and sometimes it starts to get awkward when we overthink things like that. And so I know that if we have a hard time even knowing how to approach and offer someone program, that even more so it can be kind of even harder to offer coaching. And so I have a few different conversations that I've had in the past, I would say month or two. One has not become a coach yet. I say yet because I know it's going to happen soon. She's ordering program today, but I just want to show you the different ways, the different types of ways that we can offer coaching to all different types of people in all different stages of their health journey. But before I do this, I kind of want to ask all of you who pop in the chat. I want to know if you became a coach within the first month of you being on program. So say yes right now. Yes, type yes. If you became a coach within the first month of you being on program. Holy cow. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, look at this, guys. Out of the 80 people that are on this call, there's at this point 20 coming on 30 people that became a coach within the first month on program. And yet there's so many of us that automatically assume our clients do not want to become coaches until they have been on program and have hit their goal 3 months from now. And this just goes to show that that is not the case. Look at all of these people. Yes, Momi, you have said no 5 times. But the point being that a lot of times this is what can happen. People can become coaches within the first month on program, but they don't know that. They might have their concepts. They might think that they need to be at their goal, or only people that are really into health can do this, or we went to school for this. I know we all have had crazy concepts like that, and unless we approach them and let them know what's possible, then they won't know. And so I just wanted to ask you guys that question just to open our eyes to see that our clients that are on program right now could possibly want to become a coach, but they might not even know it unless we let them know. And another question I want you to ask yourself right now: who came to who when it came to coaching? Did you go to your coach and say, hey, I'm ready to sign up as a coach? Probably not, unless there's like a few of us that are like type A's that are just really out there. But I highly doubt it. I bet there's almost all of us. We were approached by our coach with the gift of becoming a coach because they identified something in us that they thought would make a great coach. And so I want to share my screen here and show you guys. Okay, this is interesting. So, all right, let's go. Let's start with this one. Share screen. Okay, so I'm not sure what you guys are seeing right now. Are you seeing a text from one person? Okay. Man, I don't know how this works when there's multiple. Okay, stop share. I don't know. Okay, sorry about this, guys. This is kind of, okay, so here's one. This person, this client, so she had been on program for about 6 days, and here's what I said to her. Want to get started? We had already talked about coaching a little bit. Oh, someone's drawing. All right. Okay, let's try not to draw here for a second. So, okay, so we had mentioned possibly coaching when we did her kickoff call. So that was layered there the night before call. But here it is. I said, are you working today? Want to get your kit ordered and start helping people? I would post something, referring to posting something on her Facebook about her amazing results. That would get people's interest. Then reaching out to people on your list of people. She said, I'm off today. Yes, let's do it. So I simply just said, hey, want to do this? She said, yep, let's do it. Okay, I'm going to send you a video on how to order the coach kit, then post, and I will help you know how to respond to the people's comments. Very easy. I'm not putting all this pressure on her to understand how to become a coach yet, or what that means, or anything as far as we had talked about it, but this is mainly like not 5 steps ahead. This is right now. She said, girl, it's amazing, referring to the 8.5 pounds in the week. And I said, like, what? I told you. She said, never in my life. And I said, let's tell everyone about it and get you and Sam to have time together again. Basically, that's her and her husband, and she has a goal of having more time with her husband. And so I reminded her a reason why she wanted to coach, and she said, amen to that. And so I said, just trust me. So there's that. That is a client that had been on for program for a week. So I just put it out there. I said, hey, you ready? I know you're so excited about the 8.5 pounds that you're down. And she said, yeah, let's do it. So that's an example there as far as a client that has been on program for a week goes. But next I want to show you someone that I did a share call with. I did a health assessment, and I basically, oh my goodness, this is complicated, guys. Now it's not letting me share my screen. I have no idea what's going on. Okay, I'm just gonna read it. So basically, I had done a health assessment with her, and she shared some information about a lot that's going on in her life as far as finances and stress and all of that. And so I said to her, I'm so excited for you to see what's possible. You may even like what we do as coaches. That would be something to explore to help you with income for you guys as your husband is deciding next steps in his income and all that stuff. And she responded, I would absolutely love to learn more about the coaching. So I said, okay, great. Here's a video. It explains a little bit more on coaching. So that is an example with someone that hasn't even started program yet, but I'm telling her now, you might even like what we do as coaches. I'm not sure if you'll like it, but here's this. I really think you might. And so I sent her over a video, and we can share with you guys a video that would be great to share. And that's when she was like, absolutely, I would love to learn more. And then lastly, I want to share with you guys, this is an interesting one. So this is someone that I had never met, and we were just chatting over Messenger. She was sharing a lot about working a lot and just tired of how she's living her life right now. And so I built a relationship with her, and I had become to care for this girl and seeing her where she was at and all of that. And so she was sharing a lot, and a lot of what we have to offer as coaches could be a solution to her problem. And so I basically said, she shared a lot about her car breaking down and all different things. And I said, oh my goodness, girl, that's terrible. I was just thinking, have you ever considered becoming a health coach? I know you said you always kind of have been focused on your health and healthy eating, but it would also help you guys financially big time during this time. It may be something worth considering. She said, how exactly does that work? I'm definitely open to considering it. And she said, and I said, what do you mean about how exactly does that work? And she said, like, I know absolutely nothing about what being a health coach even is. So I said to her, well, let's talk and we can see what you would think about it. And basically none of that would have been possible. I'm not tooting my own horn over here, but I'm just saying none of that would have been possible if I wouldn't have laid it out and been like, hey, would you even consider this? So that's an instance of someone that doesn't even know even what a health coach is. And I would say most people don't exactly know what that is and how it would benefit them. But being able to offer it and word it like that, hey, would you want to explore what this would mean for you, is huge. And I've never had anyone say no. No one's ever said, no, I don't want to explore that. No, thank you. Most people are like, sure, why not? I'll explore it. And so that's a key word, is saying explore. And it's super key, super helpful. So those are just a few different ways that I have found. So I gave you, I think, 3 different examples, 2 of which became coaches and became a senior coach within 2 weeks. So that is exciting because basically, hey, what's possible? Here's what's possible. And it happened. And it's so exciting to see them see what's possible. So that's a little bit as far as wording goes. And I hope it's helpful for you guys.
Okay, thank you. Had a hard time unmuting. Thank you, Whitney. There's something very, very key that I want you all to pick up. Whitney knew the needs of those people. So she presented a solution to their problem. She had built enough relationship, and these are not people, the one that she just talked about at the end, this is not someone that she's known since she was in grade school. This was someone that she connected with probably during the 3x3x3, which is a whole nother thing for you new coaches, but most of you know what that is. Probably connected in relationship, built in on social media, and then took it to Messenger and began to know and knew that this girl liked health, knew that she had a financial need, she knows. We are in the business of building relationship. And then what does Zig Ziglar say? You help enough people get what they want and you'll get what you want. So did Whitney have a goal to help 5 coaches go senior coach and grow her business to FIBC? Sure. But that's not why it happened. It didn't happen because she's like, this is what I want. It happened because she's like, okay, who's in my world and who has needs? And she met their need. She presented a solution to their problem. She helped them win. That's what we do. We help others win. And if you think that Whitney hasn't had to get over herself and like her own fears of like, oh my gosh, that's so awkward, you're wrong. She's had to get over all the same obstacles that all of us had. She just decided, I have something so amazing to offer. It's selfish for me to hold it back. And she built relationship with people and connected with people enough to know what their needs are. So what are the dreams of the people in your current client base? What do they dream of? What do they need? What's going on in their life? And how can coaching be a solution to their problem? That is key. And if that's all you heard from Whitney, you'll be just fine, because that's exactly what you need to hear, is that you build these relationships and you find out what's going on in their life. What do they need? Because we can help them. We have a solution. So I want to go on, continue to share my screen, and then Jenica is going to share with us a little bit too here. Okay, where am I at? Okay. It does require some emotional intelligence. Kind of just talked about this. You got to get yourself out of your own way. Get out of your own way. Stop overthinking. Stop deciding for people. Stop. It's so funny for those of you who have helped your first five. I'm sure when you were like connecting with your sponsoring coach and your business coach, there was a lot of like, well, I don't know. Like they probably said something like, oh my gosh, did you see that girl that commented on your before and after picture? Have you reached out to her? I bet you should reach out to her. And you said something like, oh, well, she doesn't really need program. And your sponsor coach hopefully said, well, how do you know? Have you guys explored it? Did you talk about it? Well, no, but I mean, I just saw her. She looks great. So does she need to create some healthy habits? Does she like, right? Okay. And then you begin to go, oh, okay, and you get confident in like how to acquire and assist clients. And you stop deciding for people. You stop profiling who needs program and who doesn't. And you begin to think outside the box. And you are like, you know what? Everybody needs program. And you get more confident. But then you transfer that same mindset now on coaching. And you begin to decide for people. You stop exploring because you think you know all of their needs, or you're afraid of what they're going to think of it. And you kind of go back to that old way of thinking. And you apply it on coaches. So get out of your own way and just do it quicker than you did when it came to acquiring and assisting clients. And you need to remember this. You don't need any one person. You don't need any one person. I said, I saw Momi in the chat say she said no 5 times. I said no for 3 years to my health coaches, Doug and Tia. Now, did they hound me? No. But we saw each other probably once or twice a year because they would come out and visit. We had been old friends, and it always got brought up because they were being intentional. And I was like, oh no, that's not for me. I think you guys are so awesome. Nah. And you know what? Good for them that they moved on, kept in relationship with me, kept offering to me. They didn't need me. There's plenty of people. I want you to know, you don't need that one person, and you don't need to let that one know, be like, nobody. Somehow, sometimes one becomes this like mythical they. They don't want to be coaches. Who doesn't? Well, she said no. Oh, well, that's her. That's one. There's plenty more. You don't need one person. No one owes you. Sometimes you get mad at your clients. Like, I am so stuck because none of them will become coaches. Like, they owe it to you. And no one owes you. And I want to encourage you. This is a big one. Connecting in relationship with no agenda. We talk a lot about that. We don't have an agenda when we connect with people. Also, be detached. Don't have an attachment to the outcome. If they say yes, awesome, and follow the system. If they say no, okay, who's next? Who is next? Because there are plenty of people. Keep moving forward. That's also a really good sign of your own personal development and growth, that you're actually maturing. You're maturing and growing as a human, and that's really key in this business, is that you do that. And so the next step here, using your support team is vital. And this is where I'm going to have Jenica come off of mute and share. Okay, so support team. I know I sponsored Whitney. Whitney is my partner. She is a coach that I personally sponsored and started. I know all those people that text those three. I knew who all 3 of those text strands were referring to. Why? Because Whitney uses her support team. So I had actually met one of those people in a celebration call celebrating their first week. And then the other one that wasn't even a client, after Whitney sent them the video, she said, let's connect and explore. And we did the explore and talked about becoming a coach and how it would meet her needs together. And here's why. It's not that you're not qualified. It's not that you can't do a good job on your own. Or for some of you, you're like, oh, thank God, because I'm so scared to death. Good. We are better together, and we do team coaching on purpose. And there is value in the third party because it develops respect and trust. Respect and trust. And I get to edify Whitney and affirm that you're in good hands with Whitney, because they are. They get integrated into the community. They know, oh, okay, so I'm going to become a coach, but I don't have to do this by myself. I don't have to know all the answers, because we're modeling, hey, none of us have all the answers. That's why we do this together. We're modeling that we're going to help transfer skills to them. And so if you're not utilizing your support team to do client celebrations and coach explores, that's why you're not growing. So Jenica just grew her business to a presidential business, which is almost the highest rank in the entire company, and she did it in 11 months. Now, I want you to know, please do not compare yourself. I did not do it in 11 months. It took me 3 years. I did not do this in 11 months. It can be done in 11 months, but it doesn't make me mad that I didn't do it in 11 months, and it doesn't make her even, I mean, it makes her very awesome, but please don't compare yourself. I just want you to know it's possible. If you want it, it is possible. If you stay the course like me and just don't quit, it's possible. And either way, it means that Jenica is way leaning into her system. She's way going after it, and this is what she's doing. And I wanted her to personally share because I know some of you would love to grow and help other people win in the kind of capacity that Jenica is. So go for it, Jen.
Hey guys, thank you so much. So celebration calls, let's just start. So the way that I kind of set up a celebration call, so if I'm on a pre-client call or if I'm even doing one for a beginning coach, I will say right from the get-go, once they say yes, I will say, I'll take their information, get their payment information, and I will kind of give them the rundown of what it's going to look like. I will let them know they're going to get their email, they're going to get their shipping email, and then we're going to jump on a night before call, and they're going to get their morning text their first week. They're going to get a night or a call each night for the first week. And then I let them know that they are going to get put on a celebration call. So if it's for my client, I will, mention my coaches. If I'm doing one for a beginning coach, I will say, hey, we're going to get back on a call all together and we're going to celebrate you after your first week. So I let them know ahead of time that it's going to happen. I recommend normally, it's in the text messages too, but like within like day 8 to day 10, that's when I normally do it. I also personally, I will make sure that I'm available for the celebration calls. So in a leader role, I make sure that when my coaches say like, hey, I have a handful of people I need to celebrate this week, we'll set up a block of time and I'll say this is dedicated to so-and-so. Some of the things that I say on the call, which, some of you may have already heard this, but for somebody that's new, some of the questions that I ask on a celebration call, what went well this week? That's the first thing. I don't say, hey, how much did you lose? I say, what went well this week? Because for some people, maybe, they only lost a couple pounds and maybe they were down about that a little bit, but maybe something big happened. Maybe, they went out to a party for their first week and, they didn't focus on the food. So I also will ask them about their non-scale victories. I do end up asking them about, how much they lost, what were some of their successes there. But then I also make sure that I touch on the Habits of Health books. So I will mention that. I'll say, hey, how are you doing with your books? How are you doing with the Habits of Health books? Have you got any time to dig into those? I don't make them feel awkward. A lot of times you'll hear, no, I actually haven't, I haven't had any time, or, things have been busy. And then I just recommend reading, normally I say chapter 3. So that's was one of my favorite chapters, and I had my aha moments with that. So I will say, I recommend you reading chapter 3. Dig into some of your workbook. That'll be like a little goal for you this week. Dig into that. Then I mention our community calls because I want them obviously following all 4 of the components. I will mention the community call, ask them if they've been able to jump on the first one if it was, during that week. Sometimes if it's the day of their first community call when we're celebrating them, I will say, hey, tonight's the community call, don't forget about it, and remind them that it's recorded so they can catch up on it. I also will make sure that I ask them if they have anything challenging coming up. So, I want them to know that I care. So if they have anything challenging coming up, maybe we can help them work through it. And then the last question that I ask them is, I just ask them if they have any questions or concerns or anything that they would like me to answer. So after I ask them all those general questions, it doesn't take long, but I let them talk and I let them feel that, bonding and that I do care. I don't try to rush them through it, but I also, obviously, we don't want to be on the phone for an hour, but, I let them talk. It's normally like 10 minutes. At times can be 15. But when I end the call, I end it like kind of, I'm going to actually read this just so I don't mess it up. But so normally, like, I'll say, all right, ladies, I love chatting with you tonight. I'm super excited for you, so-and-so. You're doing amazing. Just keep in mind, in a couple weeks, people are going to be asking you what in the world you're doing because you look absolutely amazing, or, something's changing, or you're happier. They are going to start noticing. So when they start noticing, I want you to keep in mind that we're going to offer you the opportunity to coach. You're going to be able to have the opportunity to help your friends and family. So, that opportunity is going to be offered to you. You're in amazing hands with whoever the coach is, if I'm doing the call for one of my coaches. But we would love to help you to be able to help your friends and family. So when that time comes, if you'd like to explore that further, we can jump back on a call and we can talk about that. And so that way, when the time does come, they feel comfortable, number one, because they've gotten on a celebration call with me. So they feel comfortable jumping on and exploring what coaching looks like. So that's really what I do personally, making sure that you're getting on those celebration calls because they're huge. That's where that first team, family, friendship, whatever you want to call it, that bonding takes place. They feel like, oh, well, I'm not just with my friend. Or like sometimes with family, maybe they're not getting as great of support. I know, sorry, Mom and my sister, like maybe I wasn't as good for you guys, but, like when you have somebody else there that they know that they can come to too, it's like, it's just, a really awesome feeling to know that, there is a community and it's not just, here online. It can become more personal. It's not just them sitting here watching or whatnot. So that's it.
So great. That's really, really great. I saw everybody taking notes and I'm glad that you did. And so here's a perfect time to do those celebration calls where you bring on your client with your coach to celebrate them 7 to 10 days. 7 to 10 days, they're in a good fat burn. They're probably sleeping a little bit better. They're having a little mental clarity. Bring them on, integrate them into the community, and let Jenica do the talking for you. But let your sponsoring coach be a third-party voice to speak, to paint a picture for them of what is about to happen, to do the things that we talked about earlier, where let's speak to them as a coach, help them feel known and heard, and really begin to explore the coaching opportunity from there. So those celebration calls are vital, vital, vital. So I'm going to leave you guys with this. And this is really all that you need. You need to just be willing to do the work. And what does that look like? I'm going to give you 5 things. Think long term. Sometimes we offer coaching. For those of you who are starting now, I mean, if you have 5 clients, you've probably already offered coaching. I have coaches who have like $4,800 in frontline volume, so they're helping like 15 people, and they have 3 coaches. That's a beautiful business. I want you to know that's a beautiful business. Every 5 clients, there is a coach there. Okay, but some of you are like, oh, well, I'm helping like 20 people on my own because that one person said no. And it set me back and I didn't offer to anyone else, basically. I want you to think long term here. Stay at it. Don't stop because one person said no. Who's next? Continue the system. Keep going. Stay consistent. Invest in people like Whitney talked about. And Whitney gave prime examples of how she's investing in others so much that she knows the needs of their life. She knows the needs of their life. Work hard. Show commitment and loyalty. Jenica kind of touched on that a little bit. It's like she was kind of exuding loyalty, like, welcome to the family. Like, hey, we're in this for you. We want you to win. What was hard last week? What was good? We want you to win. Like, do that, show that, exude that. And then here's the deal. This is number 4. The more success you help someone achieve, the more that they earn and the greater that your freedom is. Your time, your fun, and your maximization of financial freedom. But you have to help them win. Our lives are made better when we help others win. And then lastly, building teams is about investment and delayed gratification. And we have all been raised in an instant gratification world. We want it now, we get it now. If my Starbucks order isn't up in like a minute, I'm kind of like, what is going on? Are you guys training a new barista? What's happening here? Right? It's just like how we are. It's not instant gratification because it's investing in people, which our business is made up of people. And there's going to be delayed gratification. But if you'll stay the course and you'll keep doing it and not do it for a month and then get frustrated so you stop, or offer it to 2 people and they said no, so you don't offer it to the other 10 that you're helping because, well, those 2 said no, so probably the other 10 don't either. If you will just stay the course, offer it to everyone, keep dripping, utilize your support, continue building friendships, utilizing the 3x3x3 and all that, you will see fruit that will boggle your mind. I want you to know this one last statement. So that's my top 5, last statement. And I'm living proof of it because I hit 4.5 years, and I want you to know what I thought I would do in a year. I overestimated what I thought I would do in a year. Jenica, you're in a different boat. But for me, I overestimated what I would do in a year. I underestimated what I would do in 5. So stay the course, my friends, and get out of your own way and begin to serve others with the gift of coaching so that they can win. Have a great night. The recording will be posted hopefully tonight, maybe in the morning, but you guys have a fantastic night.